some sustain only. So now they're thinking, without the Medivh, okay, we're missing the shield from Tyrael, no protection from Medivh. What else can we provide? Maybe they're thinking of Tastar, maybe some shield, double support, which BlossoM has been doing sometimes, not too often.
Some discussion coming on with Nasong on this one. A lot of the time it's going to be Modern Life's hero here. He's just listening. I actually find a lot of joy in watching Modern Life on this team as the flex. This is all about his hero pick right now, and he's just listening. He's one of the newest, youngest talents to Heroes of the Storm. He came into the scene last year, coming out of Open Division on Team BlossoM. Then traded around a few different teams. Tempest, back to BlossoM. Then he's still now, even though he's traveled to an international event, he's seen a lot, he's done a lot, understands that he is basically the youngest player on this team, the least experienced. Obviously Gondar is pretty much tied with him, but Gondar has a better reputation than him. And he plays whatever he's told to play, and he plays it well. And that's, you know, that's rare to see in Heroes of the Storm talent in Korea.
I think
these
it's
days.
it's rarely a minus for him to flex into anything. So that's also why BlossoM is able to have this kind of difficult comps to pull off, but he has always been the bridge in between. And that's why we're praising him so much. And also with this Sonya, will dominate lane. You have to find the hero. Blaze is available this time. Had trouble game 1, was banned in game 2.
Yeah.
Again game 3.
Blaze and the Stukov. So looking for that longer fight we were talking about earlier.
Also, we saw from the previous match, Stukov silence great against Tracers. Only if you can lend the CC and also the pair up with the silence.
Is it time to go back to an old favorite, the ETC? They don't have Uther, so it's tough. What's Gondar going to play this time?
Against the big silence, maybe they don't have too much burst damage. It is a lot harder for BlossoM to melt down the targets like game 2.
Yeah, maybe it's just Rhaegar, or not Rhaegar. Anubarak is good enough when you have the ability to get into the back line. Like Stukov doesn't have much protection.
Or he can go back to his old favorite Stitches pair up with Malfurion.
Oh my god, that would be my dream come true.
Which
Please.
is okay against Stukov Blaze Garrosh.
Nah, let's go to ETC though. RIP. I thought they might just do the ETC, which is another one of his good comfort picks.
It was a good build up though.
Yeah, you and I were like, well, maybe!
Fifth pick, Stitches!
Think about it. Think about the hook into the root, into the custom mine. Oh.
The pulse bomb? Yeah, man.
Whoa. Ancient Spear? Like.
But ETC.
ETC though. That's alright. There's a lot of delay on the side of Miracle 2. They have Scatter Arrow, they have Shurikens. They have the ability to bunker for the longer fights, and they have Stukov. So sustain heal war definitely goes to Miracle, unless Stukov dies, which is going to be one of the focal points of the draft of Team BlossoM with their Tracer. Can certainly go either way.
Again, I like the draft from Miracle slightly more.
Same.
Just looking at the draft, once we get into the game, it becomes a different story.
My only concern with the draft is that it's difficult to empower Genji's Dragon Blades. But beyond that, it's a very powerful draft. And it's not like that is a problem per se. Uther was banned, and if they had a different support, it might even be a worse draft because Stukov is just so good at delaying, so good at fighting these longer fights that we were talking about. Obviously a battleground advantage here for BlossoM at the 4-1 versus Miracle's 0-1.
Will be a lot harder for BlossoM to escape this game. No Medivh. Junkrat kind of course he has his own escape with the mind, especially after 13 with the talent. Tracer of course has a blink, so these kind of rotations will be very tough to actually get the pick off from Miracle's side. I was wondering why. Could have been a lot better time if they spent that time actually going up to the top lane. Pressures Blaze, pressures Sonya a lot more. much easier time for Blaze to start off the laning phase. Not really going to find the target against Junkrat and Tracer. You're just looking for that luck, which is very low.
Just food for thought. Just want to throw this out there. How interesting would it be if Genji actually had his heroic built like Tracers? He has it at level 1, but he has to build it just like Overwatch. It'd be interesting because without level 10 heroics, he couldn't do much with it, but it would increase his potential for ganks in the early game. But in the mid game and late game, when you have like Divine Shields, you wouldn't always be able to have the Dragon Blade when you wanted to use Divine Shields. So you have to really think about how you wanted to use it. It would be an interesting change. Just thinking about that a little bit, because I'm thinking about, you know, gank potential in this top lane, and Genji can harass, but he doesn't have any burst potential. He doesn't have any way to kill anything. But Tracer, because she can build the pulse bomb at level 1, can do a lot more in that regard.
Yeah, easy, very easy in draft. You just ban that Genji. Well, not like we have.
I just don't know. I just feel like Genji is like a little bit weak right now, so I was thinking like maybe if there could, you know, there could be a way we could.
A little lower than 50% right now in Korea. I believe 44% win rate. There's that toss onto Nasang as Malfurion does not have any escape. But
oh my
actually
god!
Will be a trade 1-1.
That was a great face melt. That almost saved him. That was very impressive.
Gondar's ETC play. Even though ETC is very well countered against the Garrosh, winning that duel right now, up on this point. That's how hard of a time Gunza has been having on this team, not just today, in all of their previous matches. Their front line, Gunza, pretty weak as a tank player compared to all the other Korean tank players.
Well, they're going to look to eliminate the last of these two pumpkin men on the Sapper cap. Dude, just running circles around right now as the altar spawns. Very greedy what BlossoM is doing right now, taking the top shrine, then rotating down later.
Also, if you have wave clear with the other hero, sometimes Tracer player would do that to build pulse bombs. And we'll complete it very soon. Of course, not the most fast camp timing, but there's nothing else to do if you make this kind of rotation. So
yeah,
might as well
just, I mean, you're absolutely right about that.
Might as well just go for the camp.
Yeah, make the most of your rotation down here.
Unless you get punished.
Gondar, oh! Spread heat, with that power slide, spread the Red Sea of Miracle, so to speak. It did not get hit by that.
And Nasang was on top, putting that in tangle. Make sure Gondar has an escape route. Although now Dudu has that pulse bomb.
Yeah. His target is definitely going to be Jaehyun. Sniper, obviously, yeah, Sniper if the opportunity presents itself, but Sniper has a way to get out. It's taking a lot of damage right now, though. Ooh, that custom of mine going to be the blow-up kill there onto Gunza. Armor aside, man, it's just too much damage through there with that pulse bomb. No way out.
This will continue. They know the weak link is the frontline Gunza. There is a reason why oftentimes you never focus the tank. They always scream, focus tank Swift Ray is not the right way of having the team fight. But in this case, if you know that weak link, if you know that tank player is not the best at positioning, you punish them all the time.
Yeah, especially with this draft where your damage is Tracer Junkrat, focusing down the tank can be really bad against a Garrosh because you're doing slow damage, you're basically not even hurting him. But when you hit that pulse, when you hit the concussive mine, he's just isolated and you will burn him down because he just made such a big positional mistake. If he's coming at you though, and they're at full health and everyone's you know, coming for an aggressive play, then you obviously want to go for the squish in the backline, ignore the tank. It's obviously situational, but that was the situation in which Gunza dies.
Focus Garrosh.
Focus Garrosh, indeed.
Focus Garrosh for BlossoM. That's their mission right now. A Sniper is on Hanzo and doing some damage. Last game, Hanzo did so much damage, but no kill pickups. With Genji, it is possible this time. Maybe they can have a better showing after 10.
Okay, Power Slide just barely connects here. Root coming down. Gunza, once again, taking a lot of damage. Pulse commits, going through that armor, and he is dead. A second kill here. CC's coming through, positional mistakes punished,
Painful
abused.
to watch. He had that self-cleanse and gets rooted afterwards by walking, I guess not really walking around the entangle, 100%.
Yeah.
I think he could have survived actually if he didn't get catch by that root at the end.
That's why Tracer pulsed him at the end to do that damage. Because obviously Tracer, I know it sounds silly, but the earlier Tracer pulses, the more damage it does. But still bursts through a lot of armor. And at the end, as soon as the root came down, they were like, okay, I know this pulse won't kill him, but he dies, right? Like, he's stuck. So that's what happened there.
And against Garrosh, you want to provide that burst damage at the end. Pulse Bomb is the perfect tool. Make sure he doesn't have the most armor to soak up the damage.
Okay, just a little bit of harassment coming up here. There is a root headed up potentially for him.
Gondar knew that Mafurium was coming up. Also, he was trying to use the minion so that Garrosh would actually throw the minion instead. These kind of plays just shows that Gondar understands Garrosh so much better.
Yeah, he also understands ETC a lot. I mean, that's the hero he made a famous name for himself on before he came to HGC, the Pro League. He's going to go for the Mosh. Obviously, we will see Tranquility to try to compete with some of Stukov's healing. Some of these fights. Good zoning route here so nobody can get in. Meanwhile, Sonya is just crushing the top lane at the moment. Blaze not there.
Nothing too crazy. Mosh Pit has... There are lots of things for Miracle to interrupt that Mosh Pit. Silence, arrow, taunt, even the shove. So let's see how they well use of those tools to stop that Mosh Pit. Focus on the ETC may actually be an okay focusing for Miracle.
Okay. Rotation down, coming faster for Sonya versus Blaze. Lots of... He's using so many of these traps, by the way. Modern Life is just repeatedly putting them out basically every time they're off cooldown to reset their positioning. One grab can turn a fight. Okay, tons of poke damage coming down into Modern Life, but Judy now on the retreat. Pulse comes in, does not have deflect, gets blown up here. Good timing on that Pulse by Judy. It's going to be a trade though. Tranquility means they have better healing. They're going to try to break this bunker so that the Riptide can get value. Oh, the Mosh! Perfect zone there. No one's going home. No one's getting out. And that is going to be a wipe here. Only sniper remains. Oh, barely. By the hair of his chinny chin chin, man. Hanzo's little, Harry's got his chin down the bottom there. Gets out of that. Gets out of there.
Almost got caught in the mosh pit, and that is the end, guys. Not the end of the game, but Hanzo, you want to hold that arrow for the mosh pit because you barely ever get caught as you're positioning backwards. You barely ever get caught by that mosh pit, so you always have to be holding that Dragon's Arrow. He used it during the team fight. That's what you get right after the bunker. There will be that mosh pit every single time if that happens like that again.
Well, let's see if they can grab a bell tower from this. They only have one camp available. Next one's up in 45. So, it's not like all they got from that was the altars and control of this lane. They're looking for this bell tower, though. Actually, Genji's showing mid because they want to get 13. That means that they know that they can kind of shove this down right now. Great shot there by Sniper, actually. So they're going to look to burst as 3 of these sappers will nearly kill it. Genji is rotating down. They know this. They back away. Look at Gondar's positioning to prevent him. And you know what? They just say this is not worth the risk. Back off.
And last
Sappers
time Judy
connect.
went in with the Surf Strike with the Cyber Agility. He was the one in trap. Sonya knew that moment to focus him. He got the Poison Spear damage. And after that, Tracer got the Pulse Bomb. Of course, it was a trade at the end. But if you dive in as a Genji, not really swinging that blade, getting the pick, getting that reset, there is less of a point of diving in and sacrificing yourself even before the team fight.
Yeah, just not necessary to take that risk.
It's not the best move. Maybe wait for some poking damage and make sure you have some room to work on.
They are definitely going to go for this this invade, it looks like, after this altar. Actually hanging around the right side here. H82 caught by the concussive mine. Is forced to charge away. Does escape just barely. If he had been body blocked, that would have been the end of his life. Wiz doing a lot of work on the Sonya you mentioned. They grabbed his 5 shots. Miracle's only got 3 of these left. And they're going to be out of this series. How times have changed. Miracle was always the bullies of BlossoM at the 5th place spot versus BlossoM 6th or 7th in 2017. And the tables have turned as BlossoM just totally dominates this series right now and looks to close it out again This time 3-0.
It is not the worst thing. The Miracle does have some poke. Hanzo, some Stukov, maybe even Genji. But they're not thinking, oh, Hanzo is caught, paired up,
Pulse.
blown up, even without the pulse bomb damage, I think.
Yeah, Gunza eats some of that pulse bomb damage from the AoE. So he goes down as well. Jaehyun's, his, shove. I don't know, I couldn't think of that. It was like his hand, he like pushed him. His shove,
yes.
did, come out a bit too late. Ping's coming down as well there, I think perhaps angrily on the side of Miracle because there was not the appeal there. And this has been a frustrating series for them. Don't think this is going to be another altar by any means on the side of BlossoM because they just don't have that much control of these two picks. We're still looking at small death timers. But yeah, I do like that you pointed out that Tracer is grabbing these camps solo so the rest of the map could be controlled, and she's building Pulse Bomb. She's got another one ready. Miracle needs to respect that.
So much better poke for Modern. Does keep himself alive with the mine. Dudu is now here with the pulse. Will not be thrown by Gunza, having that range kept pretty well. And Gondar is often the one keeping his teammates alive with the face melt, as you pointed out.
Yeah. Trap just barely missed there by Gunza. Looks like he probably just saw it get tossed out. Alright, so this is almost game ending.
5, of course. Boss will not finish the game.
If one sapper goes through, it will. They need to get down there and clear that. I think they just cleared it. Yep. So no sapper coming through here, but they might get a kill. Sniper, body blocked out. Look at all the damage coming through from Sniper. Pulse comes through though. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say for Sniper. I meant to say for Modern Life.
Boom.
Pulse E is dead. Boom indeed. Now, any of these sappers plus boss wins the game. I think Miracle should just let the sappers go through, take the boss.
Easy. Either they get the sappers in, or at least one, and then go for the boss, or leave these. So make sure Miracle has to clean this up and then go for the boss. They can do anything they want.
Miracle went towards the boss, and they changed their minds. They came down. They were able to prevent the minion wave, but they'll need to do more than that.
Was BlossoM this good? Of course, right now H82 buying some time. Sapper's not really going in.
Okay, well, their answer
Takes
is
one down.
Second one gonna go down as well here. Tranquility, all they need is the one. Bunker down. Looking at that sapper right now, it does fire, and they're gonna win the fight as well. Pulse goes through. Oh, I may have spoke too soon.
That's 1v1.
Yeah, it's a trade. I don't think that BlossoM could actually take the boss now that they've lost ETC. But
Judy never popping that Dragon Blade. Not really finding the angle. The poke. Oh man, H82 is also with the first damage.
Okay, Riptire 2. I don't think this is going to kill anybody. But yeah, Judy, because there's no invulnerability, it's tough to utilize the Dragon Blade against such heavy front line with the ETC. Great play we've been seeing. The Sonya. They have to now down a member, prevent both altars from being taken here. A task I feel is going to be very much impossible on the side of Miracle. They're positioning now around it. Judy does look for the harass. The arrow goes wide, unfortunately. Here's the blade. Decent angle, but look at that concussive mine. Judy isn't doing anything.
Just desperate for a lucky kill, possibly. Maybe a kill onto Nasang, but that's a trade, and they will, due to the survive, so they will just force out. That will be the channel,
That's
and
it.
to finish the game, there's that celebration dance from Mosh Pit, and also Tutu on that Mosh dancing same time.
Bunker protects him at least from getting hit by those ultra shots.
Well,
Modern Life is pumped. This is a great success on the side of Team BlossoM tonight. That brings us to our second 3-0 of the night, rising through the standings right now. And it was really well played on the side of Gondar tonight. Both the ETC and the Diablo, I think, were very impressive.
100% Gondar MVP. Maybe Wiz, but mostly Gondar, because he has been winning the front line so hard. Gunza, I think he will be feeling pretty bad after what happened.
Modern Life, 0 deaths, almost 40k damage. Sniper, a lot of damage again, but no kills realistically here.
Look at the damage taken by Garrosh and ETC. About the same, only 100 some off. but 6 death for Garrosh, and
Also-
only 1 for ETC.
Yeah, also don't forget that theoretically Gunza should be taking more and living, but because his positioning was so bad, not trying to mince words here, but his positioning was, it left a lot to be desired. He was caught and killed, so the only damage he was tanking was the damage that his health bar had. Instead of tanking it, then getting heals from Jaehyun with that slower healing with bio kill switch, then getting healed, then surviving, he was actually just dying with those deaths that you guys see there. So I think that was the really big key matchup today, is the tank line. Obviously, Modern Life really impressing. He might be the MVP because of his impressive Medivh, his Junkrat there in the end. But Gondar showed his skill and flexibility today, whereas Gunza showed that lack of experience that Judy has. But because Judy's moved into DPS, he's trying to fill those shoes, and it's just there's very much still like improvement to be made.
Well, we were always talking about top 3, top 4, but I think after tonight's match, we can actually draw a big gap line after that 4th place spot, and BlossoM will be on that top 4. And a lot of the Korean players, the top ones, I've been mentioning that Gondar is one of the best tanks in Korea, and of course he had some hero pool problems in Eastern Clash, but still after tonight's, I think he really showed that his level is up on top compared to the lower part of the Korean